Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that, honestly, hits pretty close to home for a lot of us, rethinking freedom and busting the myth of the magic number. I'm super excited you're here because the source text we're unpacking today gets incredibly deep. It takes a hard philosophical look at how we structure, well, basically our entire lives, our careers, our ambitions, the whole shebang. We spend so much time talking about how to achieve success, right? But today, we're looking at material that forces us to pause and really examine what that success is actually supposed to buy us. So what is your number? Or to put it another way, when will you finally be free? You know what I'm talking about. Almost everyone has one, even if you've never actually written it down. It's that universal quiet little belief we all carry around in the back of our heads, that deeply held assumption about our financial finish line. We tell ourselves, okay, once I hit this specific amount in the bank, or I reach that specific salary bracket, that is the exact moment I'll finally be free. But what if that finish line is completely made up? Section 1. The magic number illusion. Let's dive right into this shared illusion of delayed freedom. As our source text points out, there is this quiet, pervasive belief that freedom is something you have to earn later, after enough work, sacrifice, and accumulation. It basically tells us that right now is just for the grind. Right now is for eating lunch over your keyboard so that one day, only after you've put in enough late nights and hoarded enough wealth, you'll finally reach that magic number. We treat freedom like it's a distant reward for decades of deferred living. We totally convince ourselves that reaching this number is the master key to our lives. It's the promise that eventually we'll be free to rest, free to choose, free to live on our own terms. We pour our youth and our energy into working entirely for the promise of these three things, just assuming they're waiting patiently for us at the end of the road. Section 2. The ever-moving target. But here's the massive trap hidden in this way of thinking. The problem is incredibly simple. The number always moves. Seriously, if you've been feeling burnt out lately, just let that sink in. You reach the milestone you set, say 5 years ago, and suddenly, it doesn't feel like the finish line anymore. It just feels like a really stressful new starting line. And this happens because of what the text calls the lifestyle creep trap. It's basically a 3-step cycle. Step 1, your income grows. You get that promotion or you scale your business. Step 2, your standards inevitably rise to match it. The car gets upgraded, the house gets bigger, the vacations get a bit more luxurious. And then step 3, your responsibilities multiply, your commitments deepen. You literally expand your life to perfectly absorb your new income, which practically guarantees that your finish line is constantly receding further and further away. Before you know it, what once felt like enough quietly becomes your brand new baseline. And this is so important to understand. This isn't a personal failure on your part. It's not because you lack discipline. As the source text argues, this is simply how the game itself is designed. So you just keep climbing, not toward true freedom, but toward a constantly shifting target. And without even realizing it, you end up postponing your entire life for a day that, mathematically speaking, can literally never arrive. Section 3. The new form of luxury. So if that old game is totally unwinnable, what's happening now? Well, the text highlights a massive paradigm shift in how we value our time. Old luxury used to be all about objects, right? Tangible symbols and proof of your success to show off to the world. But now, something subtle but incredibly revealing has taken its place. New luxury is about silence, sleep, disconnection. The ultimate modern flex isn't about buying more stuff. It's about buying the ability to stop, be completely unavailable, and just rest without feeling guilty. Think about the supreme irony of the modern rat race for a second. We hustle relentlessly, only so we can pay absolute premium prices for spaces deliberately designed to remove stimulation. Places where you finally go to do nothing. People are spending small fortunes to fly across the globe, sleep on a hard floor in a retreat, and hand over their cell phones, literally just to do absolutely nothing. We've taken doing nothing and commodified it into an exclusive luxury good. The text frames it perfectly with this thought. If rest becomes something you have to purchase, then something fundamental has been lost. Take a moment and really chew on what that means about our current version of success. If we have to literally buy the right to simply exist in peace, then the system we're working within is profoundly broken. Section 4. Reclaiming freedom right now. Now, this explainer isn't just about pointing out the trap. We want to look at how to get out of it, bringing the focus right back to you. The core thesis of our source text is super powerful. Real freedom was never meant to be delayed. It was never meant to exist only at the very end of a multi-decade road of total exhaustion. Freedom is supposed to exist in how you live right now. It's measured in how much of your time you actually control today, and how much of your daily life isn't already spoken for by someone else's demands. So instead of asking, how much money do I need to finally be free, the author forces us to ask a much harder, but honestly much better question. What am I building that requires me to postpone my freedom? Look closely at your current trajectory. What kind of life are you constructing that demands you keep sacrificing the present moment for a future that, as we just saw, is basically proven to keep moving away from you? If your current version of success turns your time into something you constantly owe, well, what are you actually gaining? If your lifestyle removes your ability to just stop, if it makes resting feel like this rare earned reward instead of a natural human state, the math just doesn't add up. If your success costs you your autonomy, it's not a very successful strategy, is it? So the absolutely crucial point here is redefining what we're actually chasing. True freedom isn't a finish line. It isn't a perfectly padded bank account. True freedom is an immediate, incredibly fragile state built through boundaries, restraint, and the willingness to want less. And I know that sounds tough, but the goal isn't to limit your life. It's to actually get your life back. We really have to shatter this dangerous illusion that things will miraculously change once everything is finally done. The hard truth from the text is this: if you can't stop now, you probably won't stop later. More won't fix it. It just makes the structure bigger. If you can't feel free with what you already have today, throwing more money and more success at the problem will just make the stressful cage you've built even bigger and way harder to escape. So how do we actually bring freedom closer right now? The text gives us 3 great starting points. First, reduce what you don't need. Cut the excess that's secretly trapping you. Second, question what you've normalized. Take a hard look at all those upgraded standards of living that have quietly become invisible chains. And third, actively reclaim small pieces of your time. Seriously, don't wait for someday. Start doing these little subtractions today. When we strip away all the societal noise about status and accumulation, we're left with this brilliant distillation. The most overlooked form of wealth is the ability to pause without fear. It's the ability to just be without feeling that creeping panic that you're falling behind. And the absolute beauty of this specific type of wealth is that you don't need to reach a magic number to start claiming it. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. I really want you to take this question with you today and be brutally honest with yourself. Can you pause without fear? Because believing that your freedom only begins after everything else is done is the most dangerous illusion of all. Stop waiting for the magic number. Your life is happening right now. Thank you so much for joining me to unpack this fascinating source material, and I'll catch you in the next one.